The Varés, Latin Baretium, archaic German, Varés, Varese Varesino, is a city and comune in northwestern Lombardy, northern Italy, 55 kilometres north of Milan. It is the capital of the province of Varese. The hinterland or urban part of the city is called Varesotto. Geography. The city of Varese lies at the feet of Sacromonte di Varese, part of the Campo dei Fiori mountain range that hosts an astronomical observatory, as well as the Prealpino Geophysical Center. The village, which is in the middle of the mountain, is called Santa Maria del Monte because of the medieval sanctuary, which is reached through the avenue of the chapels of the sacred mountain. Varese is situated on 7 hills: the San Pedrino Hill, the Giubiano Hill, the Campigli Hill, the Sant'Albino Hill, the Biamo Superior Hill, Old I Montalbano, and the Hill of Magni. The city also looks over Lake Varese. Climate. Varese's winters are less mitigated by the proximity of the Lago Maggiore and of the minor lakes surrounding it. Low temperatures in the late autumn and winter frequently go down a few degrees below zero. This differentiates it from areas south of the city. As in other cities in the foothills of Lombardy, fog is an infrequent phenomenon. Varese is on average cooler than other cities of the Lombard Prealps, especially in winter. The rainfall of Varese is among the highest in Italy, with more than 1,500 millimeters of annual average. In winter, snow falls quite frequently, especially in January per year. Demographics. The Varese, like the province, has a very high immigrant population owing to both its economy and its location. History. In 1859, Giuseppe Garibaldi confronted Austrian forces led by Field Marshal Lieutenant Karl Baron Urban near Varese. Also, it was here where Alessandro Marchetti's Savoio Marchetti ed M93 made his first test flights. Transport. The road and rail infrastructure network that makes up the connection system of the city of Varese is powered by a lot of little streets and a double rail network, and is affected daily by over 74,000 movements, with high levels of mobility. In particular, the major movements are incoming and internally to Varese. In the average weekday, over 113,000 vehicles enter in Varese. The most used form of transportation in Varese is the private vehicle, followed by the local public transport. The A8 motorway connects Varese with Milan. This motorway was part of the first toll road system in the world. The city has also a ring road system. Varese's ring road consists of a road currently in operation, and 2 more under construction, managed by Autostrada Pedemontana Lombarda. Many important statal and provincial roads pass through Varese. The entire rail network serving the capital is electrified. The city is served by 3 railway stations: Varese FS, managed by Centostazioni, and RFI SPA, Ferrovie dello Stato Group. It is the last station of suburban line S5 of Milan-Varese Treviglio via Milan, and run high-frequency train to Milan and Porto Sarasio, towards Switzerland. In addition, there is a project underway to connect Varese with Malpensa Airport. This line would then continue past Varese to Mendrisio and Lugano in Switzerland. Varese Nord and Varese Casbeno, managed by Ferrovie Nord on Milan-Cadorna-Saronno-Varese Lavino line. Train service is operated by Trenord. The city has both an extensive city bus network operated by Autolinee Varesine and suburban bus services. International bus services are operated by Swiss Post Bus of the line 523 that link Varese to Lugano and Mendrisio. In Varese there is also a funicular service on the line Valone-Sacromonte. Main sites. The city is home to the Sacromonte di Varese, a place of pilgrimage and worship. It is one of the Sacri Monti of Piedmont and Lombardy, included on the UNESCO World Heritage List. Civil buildings. Varese is rich in castles, many once pertaining to the Borromeo family. The historic center of the city includes the Praetorian Palace and Villa Cagna, a residential complex that also hosts the Civic Music School of Varese. After the 19th century, it was enriched by villas and the surrounding gardens, many now open to visitors, including Villa Recalcati in Casbeno, built in early 18th century, enlarged during 1756 to 77, once a luxury hotel. The building now houses the offices of the Province of Varese and the prefecture. Villa Milius, near the town centre, was once owned by the Jesuit-Order, and in 1773 the house and park were sold to the notable Francesco Torelli, who transformed a modest building into a large villa, then sold in 1902 to the industrialist George Milius. After his death, the property was divided among several heirs, who in 1946 jointly sold it to the Varesino Achille Cataneo, and he donated to the town of Varese in 2007. Villa Toplitz, in the locality Sant'Ambrogio, stands with a large public park. The complex is named after Giuseppe Toplitz, Polish-born banker who bought it in 1914. Already modest country residence of the German family Hannessen, was enlarged by Toplitz after World War II when his wife Hedwig Mistosowska and his son Louis sold it to brothers Marchetti of Legnano. The complex with the elegant Italian park passed to the municipality of Varese in 1972. Vilponti were built between 1850 and 1870 by Milanese architect Giuseppe Balzaretto for Andrea Ponti. In 1976, it was converted into a convention center. The main building, surrounded by a public park, is decorated internally by Giuseppe Bettini. Part of the complex, Villa Fabio Ponti, is a neoclassical-style villa housed in 1959 headquarters for Garibaldi. Villa Menefoglio Litapanza, in locations Biamo Superior, opposite the entrance of Vilponti, was commissioned in mid-18th century by the Marquis Paolo Antonio Menefoglio, and is an example of vacation home in Varese. The villa with the garden was partly transformed during the Napoleonic period, when the garden was converted into an English-style garden, recognized since 1996 as well protected by the FI. The building currently hosts the contemporary art collection of the family Pranza. Villa Augusta, in Giubiano neighborhood, was built in the second half of the 19th century. Already owned by Testoni, passed to the Hospital of Circolo di Varese, and then, the 30th of September 1952, was ceded to the Roman Catholic Order of the Sisters of Purgatory Helpers. Since 1968, the villa was purchased by the city and houses municipal offices. The park is open to the public from the 5th of April 1970. Villa Baragiola, in Masnago, has a well-visited park. On the north side, in the shadow of Mount Campo dei Fiori, in 1895 the lawyer Andrea Baragiola opened one of the first Italian race courses, which extended to the area now occupied by the Stadium Franco Orsola and its ample parking. The villa was renovated in the early 30s, and in the next decade refurbished as a religious seminary. Passed to the municipality of Varese in 2001. Today is a part of its offices while the park is open to the public. Castello di Masnargard, Varese. In the city centre, there is Palazzo Estense with his gardens and Villa Mirabello. Natural areas. In addition to numerous public parks of the city, often appurtenances of historic villas, there is the Park Luigi Zanzi in Chirana. established in the 60s through partial filling of the coast of Lake Varés. It is a large botanical garden located on the banks of Lake Varés, rich in numerous species of trees and bird life that is partially sheltered in the reeds along the banks. Bathing beach in the summer. The park also offers the possibility of peaceful walks and cycling on the bike path. Close to the city of Varese rises instead the regional park Campo dei Fiori. A natural reserve of over 5,000 acres consists of the massive mountain Campo dei Fiori and Mount Martica, separate from that Valle Rasa, which is the junction of Valcuvia and Olona Valley. Once the peak of the Campo dei Fiori was characterized by extensive grassland. Why was historical destination of tourism of Varese and of Milan. Today is the spectacular blooms, which gave the name to the area, to be one of its main attractions. It is a very diverse place showing aspects of extreme interest, related both to the natural environment, both in history and culture, referring to a past full of events and traditions. There are small farming villages, monuments of rare beauty, cave systems and articulated a well-maintained network of trails, some passable, as well as on foot, on horseback and bicycle. Inside the park are established 6 nature reserves enclosing environments most important and characteristic. Economy. The economy of Varese is mainly based on industry and, to a lesser extent, specialized agriculture. Some famous Varese-based firms are Airmacchi, Augusta Westland, Cagiva M. Virgusta, Cobra Automotive Technologies, Ficep, Ignis, Vibrium, Prialpi, Mazzucchelli, Väris, and many more, as it is one of the most industrialized areas in northern Italy. Varese is close to the Malpensa International Airport, which serves the international traffic of Milan, Italy. Education. Varese is home to a European school, the European School, Varese, which was established in 1960 for the children of European Union staff, who work mainly at one of the 3 institutes of the Joint Research Center in nearby Ispra. It is one of the 2 sites of the University of Insabria. People. Ottavio Missoni, designer and founder of the Italian fashion house Missoni, which is also based in Varese. Missoni is known for its wide use of color and a variety of patterns. It is also very well known for its knitwear. Missoni has a home, sport and diffusion line M. Missoni, as well as a collaboration with San Pellegrino. Pietro Antonio Magatti, a painter active in Lombardy in a late Baroque style. Andrea Ponti, 1752–1819, industrialist who started the first textile plant in Italy. Enrico Dandolo, a figure of the Italian Risorgimento who participated in several of its most important battles and participated in the formation of the Roman Republic. Emilio Dandolo, brother of Enrico, who also participated in several of the most important battles of the Risorgimento, including the 5 Days of Milan Uprising. Emilio Morosini, participant in the Risorgimento. Andrea Ponti, an Italian industrialist who co-owned a textile plant in Varese and commissioned Villa Ponti. Giulio Bizzozero, one of the pioneers of histography and, more generally, the use of the microscope in medical research. Ettore Ponti, an Italian politician and liberal senator in the 21st legislature of the Kingdom of Italy. First Marquis Ponti, mayor of Milan from 1905 to 1909. Francesco Tamagna, an operatic tenor and the creator of the role of Verdi's Otello, who lived at Varese and died at his villa there aged 54. Flaminio Bertoni, a sculptor and industrial designer known especially for his work at Citroën, where he designed the 2CV, the H-Van, the DS and the AMI 6. Franco Ossolo, a member of the Torino FC squad who died in the Superga air disaster. Stadio Franco Ossolo, the stadium of AS Varese 1910 is named in his honor. Giuseppe Zamboletti, Italian politician recognized as the founding father of the modern Italian Department of Civil Protection. Attilio Nicra, Cardinal of the Roman Catholic Church and Emeritus Bishop of Verona. Renato Pozzetto, actor, director and cabaret artist and one of the best-loved figures of Italian comedy in recent years. Umberto Bossi, politician, leader of the Lega Lombarda, and of the Lega Nord, Minister for Institutional Reforms and Devolution and Minister of Federal Reforms. Mario Monti, economist and politician. Aldo Ossola, a basketball player. Flavio Primoli, musician and composer. Stefano Marzano, industrial designer, chief design officer of Electrolux. Dino Menegan, professional basketball player for Ignis Varese. Roberto Moroni, Italian politician of Lega Nord. Lily Carati, a former model and pornographic actress. Catherine Nardiello, Italian-American pianist, lived in Varese in the late 1980s. Francesco Vescovi, known as Checo, a former basketball player who grew up in Varese. Andrea Menegan, basketball player and coach with Pallacanestro Varese. Lorenzo Patelli, accounting professor at the University of Denver. Gennaro Gattuso, professional football player. Laura Macchi, basketball player whose career began at Pallacanestro Varese. Angelo Frattini, sculptor. Laura Bono, singer and songwriter. Leah Cordapel, politician. Cycling. Varese was home of several cyclists, including Alfredo Binda, a cyclist of the 1920s and 1930s, later trainer of Fausto Coppi and Gino Bartali. Paride Grillo, cyclist with CSF Group Navigre. Cameron WRFX, Australian Olympic rower and now a professional cyclist for Cannondale Liquigas. Ivan Basso, professional cyclist and winner of the 2006 and 2010 Giro d'Italia. Fabrizio Macchi, known as CUKY, an amputee cyclist and bronze medal winner at the 2004 Summer Paralympics. Daniele Nardello, a professional road racing cyclist who rides for Serramenti PVC Diqua Giovanni Androni Giocattoli. Stefano Gazzelli, cyclist, overall winner of the 2000 Giro d'Italia. Stefano Zanini, cyclist. Gianni Bugno, cyclist. Claudio Chiappaci, cyclist. Davide Frattini, cyclist. Francesco Frattini, cyclist. Michael Rogers, Australian cyclist. Gabriel Colombo, cyclist. Andrea Perron, cyclist. Oscar Fra, Spanish cyclist. Charles Wigelius, British cyclist. Music festivals. Open Jazz Varese. Ghost Day Festival. Sport. Varese is known for the Pallacanestro Varese, which played in the 1970s 10 European Champions Cup finals in a row and won 5 of them. AS Varese 1910. AS Mastini Varese Hockey. Pro Tennis Team Varese. 2008 UCI Road World Championships. 1951 UCI Road World Championships. International relations. Varese is twinned with Romans-sur-Isère, France. Alba Iulia, Romania. Tongling, Anhui, China.